I bet everyone here knows somebody who has diabetes. That's because almost 500 million people have been diagnosed and can suffer from complications like blindness, heart disease, and stroke. A silent and unrecognized complication of diabetes is cognitive impairment, which ranges from mild memory problems all the way to dementia. And this happens in children too, who have memory and attention problems compared to their peers. But wait, there's more. You have diabetes, you're 4 times more likely to undergo a stroke, and this amplify these cognitive problems. Unfortunately, we don't have any treatments available for cognitive impairment, and that's probably because we don't really understand how it works. What we do know is that the brain relies on a constant flow of blood for energy, and it needs this flow because it doesn't have its own energy reserves, and it needs waste to be removed. In other words, it needs a good plumbing system. Think of the blood vessels as the pipes of the brain. They carry nutrients to the memory cells doing this cognition work. But what happens if the system isn't set up properly? Imagine there's too many pipes and they're not installed correctly. That's what we're seeing in our animals in diabetes. You can see there's way more green blood vessels on my slide. And they're also very leaky. So here's where my thesis comes in. I'm interested in the changes to the blood vessels and the memory cells in diabetes in an area of the brain that's known for its work in cognition, and how these might impact cognitive impairment and before and after stroke. Since the patient population has developing diabetes from high-fat diets, we mimic this in rats. After inducing diabetes with a high-fat diet, we cause a stroke by blocking the blood flow to the brain, and then we follow the animals for 2 weeks to measure cognition. What we found was diabetes alone increased the leakiness of the blood vessels and worsened cognition. And when we added stroke into the mix, we had more depth to the memory cells, increased leakiness of the blood vessels, and even worse cognition. How is this happening? We think that inflammation might be the cause. So we used an inflammatory inhibitor in diabetic animals after stroke. And when we used this inhibitor, we found that there was better survival of the memory cells, less leakiness, and improved cognition after stroke. We think this is because the blood vessels are providing better nutrients to the area in the memory cells. Imagine if this were to make it to the clinic. If successful, this could provide a much-needed therapeutic target for cognitive impairment, which is a debilitating complication of diabetes and of stroke. So who wants dysfunctional plumbing? I know I don't. Not for my house and not for my brain. Thank you.